Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight's headlines. We have the closing of the 27th meeting of the Committee of Border Region Administrators. For the international scene, China to import more African agricultural products. Welcome to our newsroom. The work of the 27th meeting of Djibouti-Ethiopian Joint Committee of Administrators and Officials of Border Regions, which took place from 5 to 6 September 2021, ended yesterday Monday at the Hotel Sunny Hill in Arta, established as part of a strengthening bilateral cooperation between the Republic of Djibouti and the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. The role of this committee is to facilitate the movement of goods and people between our two countries. Through this meeting, the discussions took place in a fraternal spirit through exchanges of view on all issues on the agenda. The members of the Joint Committee were particularly pleased with the progress made in each area since the last meeting held in Ethiopia. In the course of the year 2020, at the end of the two-day exchange, the member of the Joint Committee outlined new ways of understanding in order to face the common security and economic challenges. At the end of this meeting, the two co-chairs, namely Mr. Siraj Umar Abdul Qadir, Secretary General of the Ministry of Interior, and the Ethiopian side, Ms. Fisheha Shawel, Director of General of Neighboring Countries and IGAD Affairs, signed the minute of the meeting. The next meeting of Djibouti-Ethiopian Joint Committee is scheduled to take place in Bishoftu, Ethiopia. Listen to Ethiopian ministers, please.
Pleased here to deliver a closing remark on the last 2 or 3 days successful Border Commission 27th Ethio-Djibouti Joint Border Administrators Commissioners meeting. For the 2-3 days, we have had a very friendly and fruitful discussions which manifest our special and family relationships. I hope that distinguished participants from both Djibouti and Ethiopia will agree with me that we have had excellent meeting here in the beautiful city of Arta. We are succeeded in concluding very productive and wide range of decisions on many areas of bilateral cooperation of regional importance. It's my belief that performance of our Joint Border Commission is measured not only by the level of decisions, but by the level of implementation for our decisions. Most of the areas of cooperation and agreed minutes require joint follow-up actions by our two sides. I'm sure His Excellency, the Interior Minister, would also agree with me for the need to take the necessary follow-up measures for speedy implementation of agreed minutes to bring results for our two nations. In this regard, I would like to assure Your Excellency that Ethiopia will continue to commit itself to the Joint Commission and to the implementation of our decisions. But last but not least, I would like to thank the Governor of Arta for hosting us in this historical city of, beautiful city of Arta, for the hospitalities and excellent facilities provided us during the meeting, which ultimately contributed to the smooth and fruitful conclusions of our joint meetings. I thank you all, and I look forward to seeing you again in Ethiopia, maybe in 6 months, inshallah. Thank you so much.
In his speech at the closing ceremony of the 27th meeting of the Joint Committee, the Minister of Interior, Said Nuh Hassan, congratulated the participants for the quality of the exchanges, all the topics related to the inter-border exchanges as well as to the bilateral relations have been treated, and the results of the work are very satisfactory, according to the minister, who thanked all the delegations of two brotherly countries, Djibouti and Ethiopia. The Minister of National Education Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud, received today a delegation from the Education Above All Foundation. The meeting took place at the Minister's office in the presence of senior MENFOP officials. The Minister first welcomed the delegation and expressed his sincere thanks for this official visit, which follows a mission he made to Qatar and to lay the foundation for the cooperation in the policy of inclusive education for children, and in particular the Zero Children Out of School program. The executive directors of the Qatar Education Above All Foundation Educate a Child program, Dr. Mary Joy Pigozzi, who led the delegation, said she was pleased to accept MENFOB's invitation to outline the cooperation between MENFOB and the Educations Above All Foundation. After this moment of decorum, the delegation was given a double
in Djibouti. We are very pleased to be here. We have signed a project with the ministry to find and enroll and retain out-of-school children. And today we also discussed a more general agreement about collaboration between his ministry and our work in Qatar. Thank you.
The Minister of Youth and Culture, His Excellency Dr. Hibo Moumin Assawe, welcomed this morning the Ambassador of France to Djibouti, His Excellency Arnaud Guillois, in the presence of his close collaborators. The ambassador began by emphasizing the friendly and more than secular link between the two countries. He stressed that France is always at the side of the Republic of Djibouti for the cultural development in particular, and globally for the socio-economic development. As for the minister, she said she was very confident that France will make its contribution to the revitalization of the structures of youth and culture and the arts, the promotions of cultural industry, the development of books and reading. She also wished the support of France to restore all its aura of autumn to the theater of Salin, and the return of popular theaters and festivals as a space of expression and creation. Before the beginning of the parliamentary year, in continuation of the disturbance of material to vulnerable people, under the auspices of the President of the National Assembly, Mohamed Ali Humed, a delegation composed of parliament members, including the Member of Parliament Ahadi Ahmed Deberkale and Saliban Daher, have distributed this morning some important materials of water tanks to vulnerable people in the neighborhood of Puerto. This action is part of the benefit on fight against poverty that the population of district Puerto have benefited from 15 tanks in order to store drinking water. In continuation of its effort to fight against the spread of pandemic of coronavirus and the promotions of vaccination, the Minister of Health organized this morning's sensitization session for journalists on the importance of vaccination against COVID-19. The opening of this training took place at the headquarters of the Ministries of Health in the presence of officials of the ministry, representative of UNICEF and the World Health Organization, as well as about 13 journalists and professionals from the national media, namely the RTD, the newspaper La Nation, Al Qarn, moderated by Dr. Miad Nasser, an infectious disease specialist, and Ms. Nu'ma Omar. The discussion is also focused on appropriate ways to deal with rumors and misinformation about vaccination, and the role of the media. The journalists committed themselves to do everything possible to support the ministry's raise awareness and urge the population to be vaccinated. It should be noted that a similar workshop for imam of mosque in the capital and the town of Balbala was organized as part of the fight against a possible wave of pandemic. The Armed Forces women's soccer team participate from the July 17 to August 1, 2021 in the qualifying tournament for the CAF Women's Champions League. The Women's Champions League is a new competition set up to develop women's soccer in Africa and bring together the best clubs on the African continent, initiated by the Confederation of the African Football for the first time. This tournament will bring together 9 teams divided into 3 pools in the East African zone. It is in this perspective on the invitation is having regard to their coronation of the 6-time champions of the Cup of Djibouti that the female soccer team of the Armed Forces flew to Nairobi in Kenya to participate in this championship. From the first round, the Armed Forces team faced their colleagues from Kenya and Burundi, which they unfortunately defeated. Despite the defeat, the Armed Forces women's soccer team came out of the tournament stronger and more experienced. This first participation in an international tournament outside of the Djiboutian capital has allowed this young team to gain new experiences and gain more professionalism while raising their level of play and tactics. The Djibouti Sharks played yesterday afternoon their second selections match against Niger team at Moulay Abdallah Stadium in Rabat, Morocco. The Niger team won against the Sharks with a score of 4-2. Djibouti team had started the game well, opening the score at the 32nd minute by Ali and kept the advantage until the end of the first half-time. For the matches, the Sharks showed a great performance, unlike their last one against Algeria. From the second half, Niger team took the upper hand by scoring 4 goals successively, one of which was a penalty. And in the last moment, Djibouti scored the second goal on a free kick shoot by Warsama, reducing the score to 4-2 in favor of the Niger team, which won the match. Despite the defeat, Djibouti Sharks have improved their performance in the matches against Niger. We hope for better results in the next match against Burkina Faso. These matches are part of the selection process for the 2021-2022 World Cup in Qatar. For the international scene, China to import more African agricultural products. China aims to expand the sale of African agricultural products on its online trading platform. This is what came out of the launching ceremony of the season of online promotion of African products to coincide with the new China-Africa Cooperation Forum to be held in Senegal in the late 2021. China will encourage its live streaming platforms to promote the export of agricultural products from the continent to China. According to the Chinese Minister of Commerce, the trade volume between China and Africa reached 139.1 billion in the first 7 months of the year, including 59 billion in import from the African continent. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.